We were just actually working on the Purdue Scout, so really locked into them in the short term. Very similar team that we played last year. They return almost everybody. They were running with a different setter when we played them last year. They actually started to flip setters during our match. But this is a really good team. They're running faster tempo than they did last year. And they look really good. And then I have not watched too much Kansas yet. My staff has watched more. I'm actually diving into that this afternoon. But Kansas, I know, is just, they just are really low air, really good ball handling, and then they're just going to craft off your hands a lot, I think.
Questions? What was one of your biggest takeaways from Louisville? Weekend, match specific, all things considered.
Yeah, I think we've just got to be more consistent with what we're doing. We've got to get some more production from different areas of the court, so that continues to be a focal point. I think when we're good, we're really good, and you know, but we're too inconsistent at this point.
How do you try both Nebraska last week, Louisville on Sunday? How do you try and avoid those 0-2 holes? Have you put your finger on it, on what's kind of led to that, and then?
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? You can imagine that that's been discussions with the team and discussions within the staff. And, you know, I think it's a balance of trying to push different buttons and figure things out, but also not hitting a panic button of let's, you know, also know that we're playing some good volleyball. But as you can imagine, of course, we're trying to put our finger on it a little bit and figure out which way to motivate and get us coming out and season those first games.
Do you like having 2 top 10 matchups right before conference play? Like, does that have any benefit?
Well, I think you know, it's more that it's just been that kind of rigor the entire time. So we're just staying in that pattern of playing great teams, which I do think we like, and we're excited for the opportunity to play another crop of fantastic teams and coaches.
You have a lot of Kansas kids on your roster, a handful of them, I think. I think we might have talked about it when you guys played K-State here, but what is it going to be like to take them back home, essentially, this week?
Yeah. I think they're very excited about, you know, the Kansas Creighton game was the first match for Kansas that sold out this year. And, you know, I think it's because there's lots of Kansas representation on both teams. So we haven't been we used to play Kansas almost every year, and we kind of went through a stint that we didn't. And so especially like, you know, Kendra's a senior, and she's like, finally, we're getting to Kansas. You know, her sister played at Kansas, so she's very familiar with the program and the coaches, and it really came down to us in Kansas and her recruiting process. She has wonderful things to say about that program. So I think a lot of them are excited to go close to home. Good. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.